I don't know what he was doing. It was weird. Um, it was weird to see that type of fighting. But anyway, that's not Jake Paul's fault. So Jake Paul did what he needed to do, and he won, and he looked good.
Jake Paul looked really good. I think he won all the rounds. I mean, it's good for boxing. I think he deserves a chance to fight for a world title.
Jake Paul did get fatigued down the stretch, but he still held on.
The boxing world had mixed reactions to Jake Paul's victory over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Ryan Garcia took to Twitter, saying, "Jake did his thing, outboxed Chavez Jr." Legendary boxer Shane Mosley also praised Jake's performance, noting that he moved well and fought a solid, strategic fight. However, Mosley was critical of Chavez Jr., calling his behavior weird and even suggesting it might be time for him to retire. Many fans and analysts echoed similar thoughts, impressed by Jake's continued growth while raising serious questions about Julio's effort and long-term future in the sport after such a disappointing performance.
Jake Paul fought a great fight. You know, he moved around the way he's supposed to, throwing great punches, and for the experience he had, he did fantastic. Junior, on the other hand, he didn't throw any punches until the third or fourth round or something. He was just kind of walking forward, and I don't know what he was doing. It was weird. It was weird to see that type of fighting. But anyway, that's not Jake Paul's fault. So Jake Paul did what he needed to do, and he won, and he looked good.
Where do you think Junior goes from here, in your opinion, Shane?
Junior needs to retire from here.
Junior needs to retire.
He needs to retire. I mean, if you can't throw any punches in 2, 3, 4 rounds, you need to retire. I mean, if you can't, what are you doing? What are we doing? You just living off. Basically, you're living off your father's name. Yeah. That's basically what you do, because you didn't even fight until the last round, maybe last two rounds, and threw some punches, and you had some success when you threw some punches.
Meanwhile, Piers Morgan did not hold back. He posted, "I had a better fight with Jake Paul on Thursday than the unwatchable farce that took place tonight. The guy's lining his pockets with buckets of dollars, but he's killing boxing with this boring staged bull against older fighters way past their prime." On the other hand, Rayo Valenzuela, a respected young fighter, offered strong praise for Jake Paul. In a brief interview, Rayo acknowledged that Jake looked impressive and did what he needed to do. What stood out was Rayo's bold statement that Jake now deserves to be considered among the top 15 to 20 fighters in his division. That's a major endorsement coming from someone inside the boxing world, a sign that Jake is no longer viewed as a YouTuber dabbling in the sport but as a serious contender based on real performance.
Fight. Oh, great fight. Julio's back after all he's been through. So, I tip my hat off to him. It's not easy, especially through, what life throws at you sometimes. But, it was a good fight.
What'd you make of how Jake Paul looked and fought?
He's doing his thing. Jake Paul's looking good. Shout out to him. Yeah.
Do you think he's ready to fight maybe a top 15, top 20?
Sure, yeah.
So I guess where does Junior go from here, in your opinion?
It's up to him. He can retire if he wants, or he can have another, fight like this. Fight a YouTuber or something. Yeah.
Adding to the growing wave of respect, Jose Benavidez Sr., father and trainer of David Benavidez, had high praise for Jake Paul following his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. After watching the fight, Benavidez Sr. said Jake looked really good, and even floated the idea of a potential matchup between Jake and his son David. He emphasized that Jake now deserves a shot at a world title. Coming from someone who's trained elite-level champions, this is a major turning point. It shows that professionals are beginning to view Jake not just as a sideshow or entertainer, but as a legitimate competitor who belongs in real boxing conversations.
I think Jake Paul looked really good. I think he won all the rounds. I mean, it's good for boxing. I think he deserves a chance to fight for a world title. He proved it today with the ex-world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez, that, he dominated and he did really good.
What did you think of Chavez's performance? Early on, he didn't throw a lot, and then towards the end, he had some moments. Were you disappointed in Chavez?
Well, I thought, he was going to try to get Jake Paul a little tired. He was blocking and taking all his shots, but I think he just got tired, and couldn't execute it. So Jake Paul did a great job.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult, known for his sharp takes and deep understanding of the sport, also chimed in after Jake's victory. In his analysis, Jake has improved far more than people are willing to admit. Showbiz argued that many fans still underestimate Jake due to his YouTube background, but they're missing the technical growth and boxing IQ he's developed over time. According to Showbiz, Jake now possesses timing, discipline, and ring control, key traits that set real boxers apart. The conversation has shifted. It's no longer just about marketing hype, it's about measurable skill.
I looked at Jake, I was saying, thank you, Jake. Yep, I was saying, thank you, Jake. A lot. The thing is, not to say that because he beat a 6-year-old Mike Tyson that, you know, that impressed me with. What I'm saying is, you couldn't really see everything that Jake possessed in that fight. He has gotten way better. I saw him training, and I'm like, the guy is good. He messed around and got good. He messed around and got good. You don't like Zurdo fight? Dog, Zurdo looked. I mean, that was one of the best I've seen, but best times I've seen him. No, Zurdo won this clear to me. Don't forget that was a point deduction. We're on 15, 113. I mean, 113, 112. 117, 110. Yeah, it was clearly Zurdo. Clearly Zurdo. Yeah, it was clearly Zurdo, bro. I mean, Zurdo was making a miss, and Zurdo was really, I was impressed by his defense.
Ringside footage revealed just how one-sided the bout truly was. Jake Paul dominated from the opening rounds, while Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. failed to mount any significant offense. As highlighted in viral clips, Julio barely threw any meaningful punches. Jake's superior footwork, jab control, and physical conditioning allowed him to dictate the pace and maintain control throughout. Observers pointed out that Jake not only outworked Chavez Jr., but he also displayed the mental focus of a seasoned fighter. This wasn't just a physical win, it was a mental one, and Jake Paul never lost command of the moment.
Jake Paul has defeated Chavez Jr., right? This fight, Chavez got active in them last 3 rounds and he really showed his power. But throughout most of the fight and throughout those first 5 or 6 rounds, right, most of us were saying, is Chavez here to fight or not? Because he was not throwing very much at all. And then you thought maybe the strategy is let Jake Paul get tired because he's not used to going 10 rounds. And then maybe in those last couple rounds you could get him. But Jake Paul did get fatigued down the stretch, but he still held on. He looked well even in the final 3 rounds when Chavez was pouring it on enough to get over the top. I'd say it's impressive considering Chavez Jr. is a former champion for Jake Paul. Probably going to get a title shot soon. My question to y'all is, what did y'all think of the fight? When Chavez first came out, man, I'm like, he's not throwing. Jake Paul looked really active. I go, when is Chavez going to throw? Then Chavez began to throw, and you thought maybe the strategy is let Jake Paul get tired and then try to beat him down the stretch, right? Which I think that was the strategy. But Paul proven to hang on, and Chavez goes down in this one. So, guys, what do y'all think about the fight? What do you think about Jake Paul's performance, and can he get a title shot?